Hey, what's up guys, this is the Eternal Phoenix again, coming at you with another video. So this one's going to be kind of serious. So this has to do with a school shooting that happened in Florida about 2 months ago. I was reading an article today and it caught my attention. So Manuel Oliver, if you hear this, know that you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. So apparently, according to this article, he climbed it looks like a scaffolding or a crane on Monday today as a part of a protest against gun violence in honor of the 4th anniversary of the Majority Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Florida that killed 17 people and wounded 17 more. Okay, his 17-year-old son, Jaquan Guac Oliver, was one of the 17 victims in the country's deadliest high school shooting, and he said he climbed the 150-foot crane so the whole world would listen. Okay, he didn't damage any property, he wasn't violent with anybody. Okay, it said, and he put a banner up there that displayed a picture of his son and a message to Joe Biden, our president, that said 45,000 people died from gun violence on your watch. Police surrounded the crane below and shut down the 600 block of 15th Street Northwest. I was in D.C. in December asking to meet with him. Today, Guac is with me making his own statement, so the whole nation can judge our reality. 150 feet high in front of the White House. Peaceful action. Police is on the ground. He tweeted. And then pictures soon emerged on social media of them arresting him. His nonprofit advocacy group, Change the Ref, confirmed with The Guardian that he had been taken into custody, but the charges were unclear. His wife, Patricia, told The Guardian in a phone interview, "This is not a legal issue. This is not a federal issue that just has to be solved here in D.C. Okay, if it's not a legal issue, why was he arrested?" Of course, we want to grab the attention from the White House. How are you grabbing how are y'all doing that, by the way? Respectfully to the news media. How are you really doing that? You're not. You're shutting people out that are trying to show you the harsh reality of what's really going on. That was somebody's son. I mean, y'all are so quick to be all over on Ukraine and what they're doing, but yet you want to shut this man up because he just climbed atop and he wanted to show the world his son and what happened so that they would never forget him. Because I will do it for my kids and every kid in this entire country, because they are our future. The location of the crane was exactly across from the White House, so there's no way to say I couldn't see it. So he climbed across. That takes balls to climb up 150 feet in the air and just have a banner of your son in front of the White House and then just not even see it. There's no way he couldn't have saw it. And then Patricia Oliver said that she and her husband went to hear what Biden will have to say about gun control next month during the first State of the Union address. He goes, "I'd like to be there. I'd listen to him say what he's taking some actions about prevention. There's a lot of words on the table with no action. So we're not taking that. People are dying every second, every day." So let me get this straight. He was supposed to meet with him, and now all of a sudden he's arrested, and the charges are unclear? So what are you really trying to silence? The truth of the fact that there needs to be a course of action. There needs to be a corrective action. There's too many kids dying, being sex trafficked, murdered, and these kids are going through mental crises because of our decisions. And some of them like me, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not an addict, but I'm ADHD, and I'm very, very telepathic and very, 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 very in tune with spirit. And my kids were too, and they were ripped from me, just like his 17-year-old was ripped from him. And it's supposed to be a safe place where they go to learn and to hang out with their friends, not go and to get murdered. But the fact that a school shooting happened, it says a lot about our kids' mental health, like what's really going on behind closed doors. That's what really needs to be the big question. For shootings to happen like that, what's really going on with those kids? Nobody takes the time out to just stop and actually listen to and figure out and try to do it the right way. It says, in December, Oliver said he flew to the Capitol with no invite to try to speak to the president about gun violence and tightening gun control legislation. I can't blame him, not one bit, and he did it respectfully. He didn't try to storm the Capitol or anything. He went there with no invite to try to just talk. "There's no time for a formal invitation, and I'm here," told Oliver. Oliver told WUSA 9 in December. "We don't need to waste more time," and he's right. It's not just about gun safety either because of the sex trafficking that's going on, but y'all just turn a blind eye because it's not happening to you. Oh, it's not my family, it doesn't matter. Bullshit. I'm going to do something that I haven't done yet. I'm going back to a person I already met while he was campaigning for president, and I'm planning to have him revive me, and I want some answers, and he deserves them. Every parent that had their child lost in that shooting deserves answers, and I bet they didn't get it. He added everything that we talked about. What's the agenda? What's their plan? Since Jacqueline was murdered, more than 150,000 people have lost their lives because of gun violence. First of all, I think we should start gun safety. I know when I was a kid, my mom, and my adopted dad, because he's the only dad I've ever known. His name is Bo Shoemaker. They taught us gun safety at like 6 and 7, but it was in an open area away from people. And they taught us the right way of how to lock them up, what they do, etc. So I think that should be a first thing. Okay. And then, first of all, they need to figure out what the hell is going on really inside the home. Like, really do the job that CPS is supposed to do. Because kids don't just go grab a gun one day and like, hey, I'm going to shoot up the fucking school. No, there's a reason. They're either being bullied or interrogated, like, the whole nine. And the only reason why they're being bullied is because their parents are probably bullying them at home. Since his son's death, Oliver has been no stranger to gun control activism. So I'm guessing this happened in 2017. In 2018, Oliver performed a one-man play titled "Guac, My Son, My Hero" in honor of his son and other victims and family of gun violence. He and his wife Patricia have also painted murals for Change the Ref, which they launched after the Parkland shooting. So there's a nonprofit that you really should be supporting. He's actually trying. And it's like he's a one-man army. So congratulations to you, Oliver, because you got my attention. That's all that matters. If it's one person and it reaches somebody, eventually it's going to reach the masses. And that's what he's trying to do. The mission of the group is to raise awareness about mass shooting through strategic interventions that will reduce the influence of the NRA, or National Rifle Association, on the federal level. So they're trying to keep it to where there's no more shootings, or at least lower them. That's honorable and respectable. David Hogg, a gun control campaigner and survivor of the shooting, spoke on support of Oliver below the crane, saying, Mr. Oliver is an advocate for gun violence prevention, and he is up there today demanding change from the Biden administration for them to do everything they possibly can to address gun violence and stop the next Parkland from happening before it does. I don't blame them. And he's not talking about take away guns completely. That's y'all just so quick. Well, we'll just take away guns. Like, that's what you did with the drugs, and look what happened. Now you have the opioid epidemic. Making billions off of it. It's ridiculous. Because here's the thing, you take away guns, you best believe, especially some of us Texans that are a little bit different minded, and we come from an old school background, we're definitely going to find a way to get a gun regardless if we have a background or not. Because we're going to protect what's ours. And I believe that's every American's right. Because nowhere in the Constitution does it ever say that a felon can't own a gun. Yes, I'm not saying it shouldn't be screened. Yes, it should be a thorough screening. But at the same time, how thorough can you really get? You don't ever really know. People put on masks. That's where the gun safety comes in. That's where maybe like a gun, like, at a certain age, like maybe about 6, teach them certain things. And then as they grow older, just improve on that so they know, and always be aware of what's going on in your child's life. And that's the thing, we get so caught up in work that some of us are so run down we can't keep up with our kids in school because we're overworked, underpaid, and we have no insurance, no health insurance, no nothing. I mean, if you work, I don't know, say if you're Elon Musk, you have all that, but some of us don't have that luxury. And some of y'all sit there on your fucking big mansions and spending $10 billion for a ticket to go to space, while some of us are actually worried about, I don't know, our kids getting shot at school. And no parent should ever have to worry about that. No parent, I'm not saying a perfect world, but there are different alternatives and ways to do things, and it's time that we do that. It's time that we take all the ideas that everybody has and implement them in a positive way, not a suppressive way. Because the more you suppress, the more it's just going to cause people to go angry, and then but things like the Capitol incident happens, but that was staged. But that's just an example. It says, since Biden's inauguration, 47,611 people have died due to gun violence, according to his campaign. It says, last October, the Parkland school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, pleaded guilty to 17 counts of murder and 17 counts of attempted murder in the first degree. The guilty pleas will be set the stage for a penalty trial in which 12 jurors will determine whether Cruz should be sentenced to death or life in prison without parole. Yet they don't even ask what I bet they didn't even ask that kid what's going on at home. Or what was going on in school. Was he being bullied? What was going on? Because there's always a freaking... He didn't just go into that school that day. No offense to Mr. Oliver, I'm not saying your son. He would probably just got caught in the crossfire, and I hate that. But there was something else going on with that kid. And he sees it from the parent standpoint too. I know he does. I know he's probably not angry, but he wants answers, and he deserves answers.
Everybody knows about my fucking cat.
Yeah?
Cat's a gangster.
Nice.
Runs up in their house, so I'm not worried who that.
I'm almost done recording a video. So you're good. I'm just... Something caught my attention, bro, about this. There was a guy, his son was 17 years old, and, you know, he flew all the way to Washington, and he climbed upon a 150-foot fucking crane. Okay, and literally all he did was put a banner of his son to get the president's attention, and they just turned a blind eye, because he's trying to figure out a way to implement better gun violence control, you know, with the school shootings and shit. And I was just like, you know what, as a parent, you know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. There's no reason why this shit should be going on this much. But 17 years without parole for a 17-year-old. Yes, I get it, but he's still a kid. Like, why not say probation, but at least give him counseling and see what the hell's going on at home, because it feels like there's something more going on too, from both parents' perspective, because not just that, but both parents lost their kids, technically, because one's getting locked up and the other one's dead. So as a parent, to those of you out there who are really paying attention, who actually care, Manuel Oliver's son, his name was Joaquin Oliver. He was 17 in Florida, and he died in a school shooting with 16 other kids. We need to be parents and implement a better strategy for gun control for our kids, because there's no reason why parents should ever lose their kids, regardless. Ever. We're their guardians, we're their protectors, we're their teachers. We gotta start acting like it. I'm the Eternal Phoenix, and I'm still rising. If you liked what I had to share, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Positivity, constructive criticism, stuff like that. But if you're gonna troll, just don't even bother. And I hope you all have a great night.